Hey, Tiffany.
Hey, Kat.
I always start this off by saying, like, how's it going? Even though we've just talked for like half an hour already about how it's
Yeah.
going. But you could say, for how is it going for the listeners out there?
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got laid off less than a week ago
Oh, the day I started a new job.
on my
So,
daughter's birthday.
yeah. And then,
It was so crazy. It's like we have to switch places.
yes, we're not allowed to both be. I'm kind of wondering if we're like Batman, like Bruce Wayne and Bat. Like, you never see Tiffany and Kat employed fully at the same time. Or like one of us has to be
So,
going through something terrible. Yeah. So,
yeah. Yeah. But it's sort of like with Joe and I, we've never both gotten really, really sick at the same exact time. So
yeah.
one of us has always been able to take care of Charlie. And now, once I say that, it's not going to happen.
Shh, shh.
Something
Yeah.
horrible, yeah. But it's kind of the same. It's like
Yeah.
this is our baby. We've been
Yeah.
able to take care of the pod. One of us has been able to take care of the podcast.
Yes. I can now focus on the baby. Yes. It's your turn. I got it potty trained. It's your turn. Yeah.
Yes.
You birthed
Yeah.
it. I got it potty trained, and now it's your turn to teach it to walk. And
Yeah.
those go in opposite directions. Like, I obviously have never raised a child myself, so, but yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty freaking brutal, and I already felt for people who had been laid off, but it's different when you do it yourself.
It is, and I will say, like, having been kind of unemployed or underemployed for the past like 3 years ish, kind of, well, year and a half, I would say, most recently. You don't realize how much just having a job affects your willingness to like function. Like, I just the first day of starting this new job, I was like, oh, all of that depression I had is kind of better, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I I think it's the same as, losing a parent. You're like, yeah, that's an inevitability, and there's platitudes, and you have like a general understanding, but until you're going through it,
Yes.
you don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't understand the absolute sheer panic
Yeah.
of like,
And
oh
especially
fuck.
when everyone's like, oh, well, the job market's just bad. It's like, yeah, I know, but that doesn't change how I feel right now. I can know that and still be, feeling things like it's my fault. It's my, even if
Yes.
it's not, but yeah, it's,
Yeah. And you go over and over in your head, like, what did I do wrong?
yep.
What did
And
I do wrong?
yeah, what am I missing? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like my brain is trying to make logical sense of something that just doesn't make
Completely
logical
illogical.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're facing Cthulhu, right? The
Yes.
ancient, unfathomable, and you will go mad if you try to. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I said that to myself, not that exactly, but
no.
it said something really similar to myself. I was like, it's never going to make sense. And
No.
I'm just going to have to deal with that. I'm going to
Yeah.
have to learn to live with it.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I am planning a pivot. I mean, the good thing is Joe has been like crazy supportive, and everyone I've talked to, even my financial advisor, is like very excited for me because I have a plan and I'm terrified, and this is not how I had planned it out, but
That's I think the best, I was going to say best laid plans, but the best things that happen in the world are accidents most of the time.
yeah. Yeah, it'll be a good story at least
Yeah.
later.
I'm excited for you too. So,
Yeah. Thank you.
yeah. I will also say, as we are recording this, oop, Ada just opened the door. Hi, Ada. She wanted to say something, but the U.S. is bombing Iran kind of willy-nilly, which has been wild. And we had a shooting in Austin
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
yeah, so like the world is in a very weird headspace right now for a lot of reasons, and so are we. And I wanted to acknowledge that. This probably should have been a Patreon episode, but I think we can share that with our listeners. This will come out this week, and however you're handling whatever you're handling, because I know it's not just us personally. So
Yes, it really is not.
yeah,
It is a crazy time to be alive,
it is, and to be discussing fashion.
of all things.
I know, but okay, maybe that's a good segue. So the topic for tonight is Hope for Flowers, and when you first said that to me, I hadn't heard of the brand. There's a book called Hope for the Flowers that came out in 1972. And I haven't ever read it. But I tangentially knew the writer through a guy I knew in Montclair, New Jersey, because she was from Montclair, New Jersey.
Okay.
And so when he first said that, I was like, oh, yeah, I'd love to read Hope for the Flowers. And because it is about, environmentalism and all kinds of other things. But this is not what that is about. So... and I couldn't find anything if the Tracy Reese who founded Hope for Flowers got the name.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
Because it seems like, but Hope for the Flowers and Hope for Flowers, I guess, are different enough. But I was like, did she
Yeah.
read the book in the 70s maybe? And
Yeah, it could be like a nod.
yeah. But so I guess for our intro tonight, I will say we have talked a lot about fast fashion, which can be defined as, I mean, it's the travesty of, since the early 2000s, really quickly produced, quickly bought, quickly attained, and quickly disposed of clothing. Like, I didn't put any. We've talked about those stats before. 92 billion tons of. Oh, I think I have that set later in the episode here, but of clothing, or textiles, just get dumped. And it's, this, I need a new shirt for everything. I need a new shirt. People order, 5 items a week or something? 5 new items a week. And then you
that's
probably
the average.
wear it once and throw it away.
More.
Yeah. And thrift stores are overwhelmed because there's so much junk and it's
Yeah.
not high quality. And it's mostly plastic clothing. So that's fast fashion. And tonight we're going to talk about the concept of slow fashion, which is what Hope for the Flowers is centered on, and how their sustainability claims maybe make sense or don't, or what does it mean? Well, maybe we'll have some hope for flowers.
Yay. Okay. I hope so.
Different hope than you might think, though. But
Okay.
welcome to Greening Up My Act. All right, yeah. I have very, very few sources tonight. Because
I do in my next one too. It's
Okay, good. So we'll have some more chit chat maybe than normal. But
Yeah.
again, Hope for Flowers, just their website and their sustainability page. An article from Good On You about what is slow fashion. And then a company called Printful that was talking about how print on demand is more sustainable than traditional manufacturing.
Oh.
So we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
We usually do a little segment on Who Are We? We are Tiffany and Kat, and we are 2 marketing writers, or whatever we are now.
I'm like, am I?
Yes, you are.
I would say I am a content specialist
Yes.
still.
Well, we have foundations in marketing. We're marketing
Yes.
professionals who
Yeah.
are also writers. So we have a lot of background in marketing and seen a lot of BS in marketing and know kind of how to spot it. And we are both interested in eco-friendly living, or like how individual choices that we make can maybe contribute to a more sustainable world, or more, it's hard to say it when like they're just bombing countries in the Middle East. But, as Americans, when we're fed all these products with all of these sustainability claims, how do we go like, no, or yeah, I'll do that. That makes sense. Not spraying Roundup on my lawn is a good
Right.
way. Things,
Right.
small things you can do, small choices you can make. So, and even if we all did them, we'd have a big impact. But
Yeah, and I will say It is interesting already. It's only been less than a week, but like becoming hyper focused on our finances has also made me hyper focused on waste.
Yeah.
And in a way, I'm kind of relieved because I'm like, I feel like I could have to become really wasteful.
Yeah.
Because we were about to enter an era where we were like going to be really fine on money because we
Yeah.
just paid off Charlie's school. We had
She's,
more
she's
resources.
going into kindergarten. Yes. And
Yeah.
yeah.
And I already kind of felt myself being like, oh, I could just buy that new. And it's sort of this like idea that new is better. And that like if you have more
It's,
money, you
that's,
deserve better.
oh,
It's
yeah,
like this
it feeds into
crazy.
it. And
Yes.
it's kind of a chicken or the egg thing. I noticed it. So I bought a BMW from a friend of mine. And I was like, I never buy a BMW. But it was actually like a really good car. And it was,
Yeah.
and I probably owned it for 6 months because it was way too much car for me. But I'm
Okay.
like, there's all these studies about like, yeah, BMW drivers are assholes because, you know, they did that study about they clocked cars at a crosswalk and found that luxury car drivers were the ones who wouldn't
Yes.
stop for people and more
Yes.
often, things like that. Flawed
Yes.
studies probably, but like,
Yeah.
or the idea that like if you're playing Monopoly and you have them, you're given more money, Monopoly money, you will treat people like you're better than them.
Oh my God.
And I remember when I had the BMW and it was like, I was just mad at people for going slow. And then I realized it was because my car just went faster than theirs automatically. Like it just got up to 65 miles an hour, like immediately.
Right.
And that I was like, oh, right. If you were in a little dinky Honda and it takes 30 more seconds to get, especially going up a hill,
Uh-huh.
you aren't mad at the people around you because you're the one holding up traffic. It's like,
Yes.
but you kind of come to um, expect other people's behavior to match the level of privilege you're experiencing. And,
Uh-huh.
I like when I had this epiphany when I was like riding my bike to work once. You don't notice the wind when it's at your back. You only notice it when it's in your face. And so
Right.
you're like, I'm whizzing past. I'm going so fast because the wind's at my back. And if other people have the wind in their face, they're going to be going slower. And you'll be like, what is wrong with you? I don't have any reason why I'm faster than. And it's like, no, you literally have a better car, enough money to afford your electrical bill. You don't have to think about,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I'll just buy this thing new.
Yeah.
And it's so funny how quickly we can forget
Yeah.
how hard it is
Yeah.
to just and not even like be really poor, but just have just not enough money. Just
Right.
not enough
And
money.
to stress about it and
Yeah.
like, yeah. Yes, it's crazy. And it's
Yeah.
like so equated with like morality.
Morality. Yeah. Like you're lazy. And
Yeah.
when I was underemployed these past few years and I was like, oh man, like, I'm not saving any money. I can't contribute to my retirement. I'm just like paying the bills. I wouldn't even like take myself out for a cup of coffee, and
Right.
like
Yeah.
Sean was buying all the groceries and luckily, I had Sean, but I like felt so like, well, it's because you're not trying hard enough
Yes.
and that it's your fault. And, not that like, again, the hiring market is shit and nobody's hiring people at a
Yeah.
living wage. And like, it was, no, there's something wrong with me.
Mm-hmm.
And that guilt it's such a quick
Yeah.
American switch.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of being like, why aren't there safety nets for people who
Yeah.
are in destitution? Why do you have
Yes.
to be destitute for our society to support each other?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's so crazy. And we could
Yeah.
just have a whole episode, like
Yeah.
Patreon episode about being laid off. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
like last thing I'll say is like I went to Sam's Club. I actually have never been in Sam's Club. I have not ever. But
Yeah.
since I moved here, I did when I was younger, but I have a membership because my mother-in-law got us one because she was like, she's gotten it for us for a couple of years, and I do
Yeah.
use it for like I don't know. I used to use it for
Bulk.
diapers and stuff.
Yeah, like yeah.
Yeah, and just random shit. And I went in there and I was like, I hate going to Walmart, and I know it's like basically Walmart but big.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to expect. And instead of it feeling depressing, it was like one of the more uplifting things I've done in a long time. And I have no idea why, but like people were so nice to each other and to me. And I don't know. It was just like so. It just felt like like I am here on a fucking Thursday afternoon with people, and I don't know what it was. It was just like such a nice. It just felt like I was back among humanity.
Yes. And that's huge.
Yeah.
Getting yourself out of the house when you're laid off or going through grief,
Yes.
like after the initial shock is over. I mean, and yeah, we should have an episode of this.
We
I have realized I have cut myself off from so many people just by accident, just because I'm like, I don't want to leave the house and I don't want to be around people. And like when you go out and just, yeah, even just go to a park, but yeah, go grocery shopping.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, right.
And it kind of felt like Sam's Club was like a way to feel more in control because
Yes.
you're like, these prices
Yeah.
are insane.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm not going to go out and buy like, you know, I don't need 100.
A bluey bounce house.
Yes, that is there. That is there. Yeah. No, exactly. It's like I don't need most of this, but like some of it, I was just like, okay, this jam here is like a really good deal. Like
Yeah.
maybe I should come shopping here for certain things. And
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It was just it was good. So yeah, I've been trying, yeah, like you said, I've been trying to go out and be among humans. So
Yeah. Find a glimmer from time to time.
yes.
We are social
yeah.
creatures. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's not on the internet. I'll tell you that much.
No. God. But anyway,
Yeah. Okay. So that's who we are and what we're going through currently. But tonight, what are we talking about? So I said it in the intro. Hope for Flowers. It's a fashion brand that is, quote, designed for women who are inspired by beauty and desire to use their power as consumers to be agents of positive change in the world. I had a typo there. It's like two badgents.
okay.
What is badgents? Be agents for positive change in the world, which sounds pretty lovely. Like,
Yeah.
you like beauty. Cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You want to use your power as consumers, which is historically, if you look back onto like how political change happened in like just post-industrial revolution, it was women not buying stuff or buying stuff. So yeah. So, positive change in the world. Cool. They claim to incorporate positive social and ecological practices. Those are all adjectives there. And operating structures so they can imbue their products with greater substance and offer customers an opportunity to be part of doing good while looking good.
Okay.
So that sounds super, super cool, right? I'm going to go a little bit in the history of Hope for Flowers. So
What
Tracy,
kind of stuff do they sell?
it's women's clothing. I
Just
should say.
women. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Tracy Reese is the designer. She's a black woman. She's been working in fashion since 1998. She started her own brand called Tracy Reese and then expanded to include sub-brands like Plenty, Frock, and Black Label. And her designs have been sold in Barney's, Bergdorf Goodman, Neiman Marcus, Nordstrom, and Anthropologie.
Oh, wow.
And you might have heard of her because in 2012, First Lady Michelle Obama wore a custom Tracy Reese dress to address the Democratic National Convention.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. But she like quit everything. I think maybe in 2009 even, she kind of like stopped everything. I meant to write down what year she quit, but she like walked away from fashion, but she launched Hope for Flowers by Tracy Reese, that's the full title, in 2019
Okay.
as a responsibly designed and produced collection with a mission to create, again, positive social impact by empowering women and young people, specifically through arts programming in public schools
Oh, whoa.
and collaboration with local artisans in Detroit.
Whoa.
So that's a different tactic than,
Yeah.
very hands-on community oriented kind of still fashion. But she's also says she's committed to the notion that sustainability shouldn't be elitist, which I freaking love.
I do love that.
Yes. But it's also kind of redefining sustainability, I think, which I'll get into.
Okay.
But I said here, if you're like us, all of this is the kind of stuff that makes you want to buy her stuff without question, right?
Yeah.
Just like, I'll buy all of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And her designs are super pretty.
I haven't looked actually.
They're colorful. There's dresses, blouses, pants, jumpers, skirts, jackets, like coats. She has all of that.
Oh
And they're
yeah.
like interesting prints, interesting shapes. Like one of the things I hate is that like you get a jacket from the mall, like even like upper brand stores like J. Crew or Banana Republic or something. It's just a plain, the
Yeah.
same blazer everyone else has. Like
Yeah.
this is interesting stuff. Like it's
Really
unique.
pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah. Um, okay. So then I want to say, like, okay, so what is slow fashion? And she doesn't mention this on her site, but I
Okay.
wanted to get into because they're noted for being a slow fashion brand. In most of the media that's out there about her, she says, that they were built on the tenets of slow fashion. So slow fashion is obviously the opposite of fast fashion, right? It means designers and producers consider processes and resources that are more sustainable while encouraging consumers to buy less through better quality garments.
Hmm.
So again, you're going to pay more, but for better quality and for
Right.
less of it.
Yeah.
Slow fashion brands are also supposed to value fair treatment of people, fair people of animals, and fair treatment of animals and fair treatment of the planet.
Okay.
So the term slow fashion was coined by Kate Fletcher of the Center for Sustainable Fashion, and she coined it after the slow food movement.
Okay. I kind of figured.
Yeah. It champions high quality, lower impact materials like linen or cotton, timelessness over trendiness, small stores over huge chains, local sourcing, producing, and selling, fewer styles per collection and fewer collections per year, and made to order to reduce unnecessary production.
Nice.
So, slow fashion says, the other tenets of slow fashion are, shop your closet first,
Mm-hmm.
repair things when you can.
Yeah.
If it needs a small repair, don't throw it out, repair it. Ask if you really need something new before you go shopping. Try secondhand shopping first. Buy less cheap clothing and replace it with smaller amounts of high quality stuff, and dispose of clothing responsibly through upcycling or passing along clothing or recycling.
Mm-hmm.
So that's slow fashion, and something to keep in mind when we're discussing Hope for Flowers. We haven't really talked about slow fashion brands here because I think,
I'm glad that we are though.
yeah, I'm wondering if we should take a break now.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. The next section's pretty long. We can take a break here, but it's going to be a long second half, people, so buckle in.
It's fine. Okay.
Okay, welcome back. Our next section that we've been asking this season is like, what sustainability claims does the brand make?
Mm-hmm.
And so Hope for Flowers makes a couple of sustainability claims. And I think, again, this is redefining sustainability from not just a eco-friendly mindset, but again, from kind of the human and again, local centered mindset. So it's not
Yeah.
just about, I mean, I went into, because we're based on, eco-friendliness, very much like the earth part. But let's just say like their three guiding principles are health of people, health of planet, and equity and profit. So again, that human aspect. And I think we find over and over again that local is the best thing you can do for the planet, right? So, well, let's dig into that. So they claim to responsibly source their materials, minimize waste, and then most importantly, enrich the local community through art and collaborate with organizations and businesses to strengthen the artisan ecosystem.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
That's like, I've never heard of a clothing brand doing that, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist elsewhere.
Yeah, I've seen it in some it's always very small scale, and I'll get into that a little bit. So they have three pillars: conscious design, community art in Detroit, and partnerships. So
Are they
conscious
based in Detroit?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Very
conscious
cool.
design is the pillar that has the most eco-friendly sustainability stuff in it. So I'm going to kind of dig into that the most, I guess. Number one is they do digital prints. So the company claims to use prints that are designed and drawn by Tracy herself and then digitized and printed onto the fabric. So digital printing is more environmentally friendly because it uses less ink and can be done on demand than, I guess, screen printing or other kind of large scale factory manufacturing kind of printing, like large
Oh.
batch.
Okay.
They don't have to print high minimums, so they will
Right.
eventually that they would just eventually throw away. So that's another issue with like H&M or these other brands is they print so much stuff and then whatever doesn't get bought doesn't get sold gets like thrown away.
Yeah.
So you don't with digital printing you can just do it kind of on demand. They still do like print runs, but they're much smaller, right?
Okay.
They also claim to use Oecotex certified inks that don't have harmful chemicals.
Okay.
Again, number two is small batch production. So dovetailing with that digital printing, they only produce the clothing that has already been sold to retail partners. So the retail partners, you know, make their orders, then they fulfill those orders. They don't print more and just ship out, keep a bunch in stock somewhere. And then they keep a small amount for direct to consumer sales.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So my whole thinking about this, you did say like Nordstrom and stuff.
Yeah.
But the whole time I had been thinking that they were only direct to consumer, but they do ship to big
They
box
have
stores.
some, I think less so. It looks like most of her collections now are mostly direct to consumer, but so most of this new, that was her old fashion lines
Oh,
were
okay,
featured
I
in.
gotcha, I gotcha.
I think she's had some like short runs in, larger department stores, but
I was gonna say that seems really hard to gauge and make it.
yeah, well, and so if you look at her new stuff, it really, I think I've seen some of it in Anthropologie.
Oh,
So
okay.
she does have some items in Anthropologie, but
Okay.
it does seem mostly to be direct to consumer from
Okay.
her website.
Okay.
And again, this reduces waste and as well as the amount of energy it takes to produce huge runs of clothing, right?
Yeah.
So, and then the third part of that was responsible sourcing. So they claim to mindfully source fibers produced with a lower environmental impact and durability. So organically grown plant-based fibers whenever possible. Now we talked about it again, like Tencel and Lysel. I probably should have gotten into whether or not those are more responsible than,
Yeah, I feel like we talked about it so many years ago,
yeah, that I'm just,
and we could revisit, but
so they don't focus on that a lot, but their hang tags, these are other ways that they're doing, their hang tags are made of recycled cardboard with an organic cotton tie, which is like, oh, fancy, like
okay.
cool. And then they prioritize eco-friendly trims. So like their buttons are made from Akoya shell or Carozo.
Okay.
So not plastic buttons, which is like, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then they also claim to use Eco Enclose, which is a direct, a thin film recyclable mailer for direct to consumer shipments with a
Huh.
second adhesive strip for use.
I would
And
be
they,
really curious
yeah,
about that. Like recyclable wear, you know.
yeah. Well, I think they claim that these items they're made from 50% post-consumer waste, so they're already recycled plastic on them. But I was like, well, it's not paper though, like or cardboard. Even though we like, I don't know.
Yeah, that one's tricky, but
Yeah. Well, and so they do state they have future plans, which all of the sustainability pages on the internet have their future plans. So Hope for Flowers plans to deepen the sustainability of their design and production by launching a dressmaker apprenticeship program
Oh my gosh.
with the Department of Labor to focus on
Wow.
developing advanced skills to produce luxury fashion in Detroit.
Oh my god, I love that.
I'm worried that
And also shit.
yeah, that can't be done now because what Department of Labor?
Yeah, like when was that written?
Yeah. And I think
Maybe
probably
maybe in 3 years.
well, the aim is to grow the local creative economy, which Detroit
Yeah.
needs, and reduce the carbon footprint by using in-housing samples and in-house production, right?
Okay.
So that you're not flying things back and forth across the United States.
Mm-hmm.
It's all, I mean, again, local.
Yeah.
They said they plan to strengthen their supply chain with partners who are transparent about production practices and only work with GOTS certified fibers,
Mm-hmm.
which we've talked about. They said they're planning to visit production partners in China, Peru, and India more often to see their operations firsthand to ensure workers are valued, which I was kind of like, oh, okay. So we're still working with textile producers in China, Peru, India, and I think
Right.
that's just kind of how it has to go for these kinds of brands. But
Right.
they have their permanent factory space, or the space that they do design work out of, I think, runs on electricity only and is outfitted with furnishings from local vendors that use sustainably sourced materials, which I thought was like a cute touch. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Wait, electricity only versus
I
coal?
guess gas. Well, see, that's the issue. When you say electricity only, that's like getting an electric car. Until we produce clean electricity, which we don't
Right.
do, that's kind of like, that's a, uh, you know,
Yeah. It's not nothing. Like it's
no.
definitely not
Right. It's
nothing.
not natural gas. So, but it's
Yeah.
still like just passing the buck,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah, it's like downstream.
yeah. So they didn't have anything about like how they're reducing the amount. I mean, using on demand printing is reducing waste and reducing energy usage. So there are ways, but there weren't any like, well, I'll get into that. They
Mm.
also said they planned to have suppliers ship their garments in biodegradable glassine bags instead of poly bags. So that's, again, biodegradable plastic, which we've talked about.
Mm-hmm.
But the date on that was by 2024, and it is
Oh,
2026.
okay.
So that's what makes me think the sustainability page hasn't been updated.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, so
Yeah, that's kind of
probably,
a bummer.
yeah. But okay, my next section was their community initiatives, which I found like that's their next pillar, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit hard to link them directly to eco sustainability,
Mm-hmm.
except again by like local is better. But they offer community workshops centered on sustainable living practices, and that's sustainable not in the sense of like eco, but like ongoing. That we are creating a lifestyle for you that you can continue to empower people in Detroit with tools to sustain their communities, so community building, and dispel the myth that sustainability is elitist, right?
Mm-hmm. I love that.
So, yeah, I said I really like this. They're helping youth and adults acquire creative tools for economic self sufficiency and creative career pathways.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And that, again, is something, we're talking about like privilege. Like being a fashion designer is, your parents aren't going to pay for that kind of schooling. Like you have to have a lot of different things go your way right for that to work out. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of that is based in privileges that only certain people generally have. So,
Yeah.
but like creativity and I mean, I really like that a lot. That
Yeah, I
community
do
pillar.
too.
Especially because Detroit has been through hell as a
Yeah.
city. And I haven't visited it. I don't really know what it's like. I can't speak to it. I've been to the airport,
Right.
but I know in the news, it's a Rust Belt city that's been through some crap, and
Mm-hmm.
it's really cool to hear people like, oh yeah, I'm doing a really like pretty well-renowned business. I mean, she had articles about her in Vanity Fair, and
Yeah.
um, I mean, I really appreciate
Yeah,
that.
and just like it says a lot about her because she's using her, I guess, platform you could call it, but like her resources to help other people. I
100%.
really love that, to like not only give back,
Yeah.
It's not charity. It's like you're
No.
giving, like you're not showing the fish. What is it? Showing.
Teach, teach a man to fish. Teach a man horse fish. One day fish. Yes. Yes. You're not.
You're not
You're not
showing the
giving them
fish
a
how to
fish.
water.
Yeah. There you go. You're not giving a man a fish. You're teaching
Yes.
people how to fish. Yeah.
Yeah, but like teaching people how to do, their own creative careers.
Yeah.
And that's so cool. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
That is so neat.
And to provide. I mean, that's the thing that was always a case in New Mexico too. Was we had a brain drain because the best and brightest would leave to go somewhere else because there just wasn't infrastructure to do whatever you wanted to do, unless you were going to go into Sandia National Labs, rocket science, or I guess bioengineering or engineering. Like there aren't support structures for creative arts or sciences that are
Yeah. It reminds me of actually my hometown is like very small in Indiana, but it actually is a former artist colony, like back in the late 1800s.
yeah
And I think there's a lot of that sort of mindset still there.
yeah
And we're also really close to Indiana University. So, it's like there are so many small businesses that are actually thriving still, even though we are what most people would call like middle of nowhere.
yeah
But it's really awesome to see because every time I go back, I feel like there's more stuff opened up and just more infrastructure being built, and it's so inspiring.
And I feel that Albuquerque's done a lot of that too. They shoot themselves in the foot in a lot of ways, but like they've had incubators for STEM stuff, and I mean Netflix has a studio there, although I think that Netflix is exploitative of New Mexico. But it's those little businesses that are doing cool stuff that like
and you watch them grow, and it's so exciting.
Yeah, and we were talking before we started this about like we're talking about like a tiny business,
and there's a book that I'm reading.
Yeah, not every business has to try and be a disruptive, world-changing Facebook billion-dollar. Like sometimes it's just you make a living and you have an impact on your community in a positive way, and it doesn't have to be this mind-blowing, earth-shattering, world-traveling,
global platform. Yeah, you don't need fame. You just need to matter to people around you.
Yeah, and maybe not even always make enough money to have food on the table, ideally, but maybe that's not
the idea of the book is that you are
making
financially stable. But
but I mean, financially stable is also a very fluid thing.
Yeah, and it's dependent on what you consider financially stable,
right?
For sure, but like basically have enough income to live the life that you want.
Yeah,
whatever that means to you.
And I really kind of appreciate. Like, obviously, she was designing for Michelle Obama. And I don't think that this is, like, a tiny business that she has now. But comparatively, like, this isn't, let's get all of our stuff into all of the highest Parisian department stores. Let's focus locally. And, I don't know.
It's really cool.
I appreciate it. And the last pillar, again, was partnerships. So... They're working to position Detroit as a modern, sustainable garment design and production hub.
Ugh.
Right?
It's so cool.
The only item in here about that, though, is a scarf collaboration they did with a local artist from 2021 to 2023. They took some designs from a local like art producer and made a scarf that they featured in one of their collections. So I don't know how that's going, but they also partner with Nest Craft Coalition to link their brand to a global community of fair trade certified production partners, which we've talked about as like, okay, there's this and that, and then
better than nothing.
Yeah, but they've also collaborated with some pretty big brands. Like they launched a sustainable shoe capsule collection in 2022 with Naturalizer.
Okay.
And in 2021, they worked with Pottery Barn Kids, I guess, to create a collection of responsibly sourced organic cotton fabric kids clothing.
Oh, interesting. I will
So
say Pottery Barn Kids has such cute shit.
yeah, I
It's so cute.
so yeah,
Yeah.
they're okay.
Maybe that's why. It's
Yeah,
also
it was
very expensive.
it is very
So.
expensive. So that's yeah. We'll get into that. Okay. So do these
Mm.
claims hold up? As far as I can tell, yeah. I mean, we've previously discussed the issues with fair trade certification, junk, and like organic cotton. There is some green hooey. There's a lot of like we had to put, eco-friendly sustainability claims up there. The
Mm-hmm.
biggest difference for me is the print on demand aspect of
Mm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
So this does reduce the need to discard items that go unsold, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And according to, so Printful was the site I was looking at. The fashion industry throws away about 2 million tons of textiles every year. So reducing that, that's just the industry. That's not even
2 million
us buying it
tons.
and dumping it.
God.
Yeah. And then these new printing techniques that they come out rely on water-based inks and dyes rather than plastisol inks. And if you only print one item at a time, you use less water and create less waste. So compared to screen printing, it's a better option. But
Interesting.
I couldn't really find any stats on exactly how much less water print on demand uses or how much of an impact these kinds of companies make by being, you know, and that print on demand now that I think it was about fabrics, but that might actually have been about, it must have been because they were talking about screen printing.
Yeah.
Because print on demand for paper products obviously makes more sense too. Um,
Right, right, right.
but so there's not a lot of statistics out there on that I could find in a quick, search that we do about how slow fashion, like what are the numbers on how much they're actually doing.
Yeah.
But I think her claims about building local community and stuff that holds up. Um, and again, it looks like the website hasn't been updated in a while, so
Yeah.
I didn't see how many collaborations she's doing, but I do know that she is running those. And who knows what happened during COVID, right?
Yeah. Right.
About those art partnerships and things. So
Yeah, I mean, at least she's trying. That's really
right,
amazing. That's
yeah,
like absolutely not something you have to do as
right,
a
as a business,
yeah, or like a fashion brand. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Name a
that's so
fashion brand
cool.
like that really does that.
Yeah.
So our next question is this something a normal person could do or afford?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the clothes at Hope for Flowers are definitely more expensive than your fast fashion counterparts,
Mm-hmm.
as expected. So most of the shirts clock in around $250.
Okay.
And the dresses and pants go anywhere from like 450 to 600. They can go up to 655 or more. It's pretty steep for me. Um, Most of the clothes come in sizes from extra small to extra large, which isn't like
Okay.
super inclusive.
Yeah.
And even though they're supposedly print on demand, they appear to run out of sizes on a lot of their items. So some of the like prettier dresses like have like an extra small left.
Oh, okay.
That can create a kind of rush sense to buy stuff before it sells out to me, which I
Mm-hmm.
don't love.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if you're supposed to buy these items once and wear them forever, if I only owned 5 dresses total, I would be happy to have one of these, probably.
Yeah.
I will say I don't know about the timelessness of some of their designs. Like puff sleeves have got to go away. Like we've had puff sleeves since like 2021, and I'm like, it's fun to be Anna Green Gables once in a while, but let's stop. And like, there's a lot of puff sleeves.
Right.
I don't know why. It's like you can't put a sweater over it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like maybe it does add some visual interest,
Mm-hmm.
but like puff sleeves, come on, guys. Like,
I don't have
yeah,
anything with puff sleeves.
I've some of my Rent the Runway dresses I've done,
Oh
and it's
yeah.
like okay, like off the
It's
shoulder,
cool.
maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I think it looks nice.
But yeah, you can't put anything over it.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, well,
You're right. I'll just be cold.
there was like a funny Instagram post I saw of a woman who was like, I wore a jumper over my shirt today, over this shirt, and she's wearing like a puff sleeve. She's in England, so she's a jumper. I won't do that anymore. I'm sorry, that's not a real English accent. But she's like, and all of my colleagues were staring at me, and I couldn't figure out why. And then I came home and looked in the mirror, and she puts the jumper on over her puff sleeve, and she looks like a linebacker. It's just like, whoa. She's like, I was cold at work. Yeah, puff sleeves are not user friendly, I would say in that way.
Yeah.
But there's
That's
a lot of puff
hilarious.
sleeves on that site. But then
Okay.
there's some really cool. I mean, again, it's stuff if you walked into Anthropologie and you saw it, you'd be like, yes, that is an Anthropologie dress. Because it's very interesting. There's like interesting colors and, it's not all this beige, pastel, boring stuff. It's like simple but interesting, which I am like,
Yeah.
I do like that.
Yeah.
And I like color. I hate bland clothing. Um,
Yeah, I'm looking at these dresses. They're so freaking pretty.
they're just gorgeous. Yeah. I don't know if I can't afford $700 for a dress right now.
No.
And it would stand out in my closet. It would be the only one. Sean, I found a brand called The Kit that claims to do kind of the sustainable print on demand as well. And they're less expensive. So I worry a little bit about their fair trade practices and things. And I haven't looked into them, but I feel like every birthday or something, Sean orders me something from The Kit.
Oh, interesting.
And they don't do, okay, so that's the other thing is she uses, organic, all of her stuff is organic cotton. I'm pretty sure The Kit is not very much natural fabric. There's some, but it's not, certified organic. It's more affordable stuff. It's print on demand, so you feel better about that. But at the same time, okay, there's all kinds of other issues. But for, again, it's not a $5,000 Louis Vuitton jacket, right? These
Yeah.
are under $1,000, under $500 for a shirt that you're supposed to keep and wear forever. Okay, if you are going to stop buying 15 new shirts a week from
Yeah.
Target, yeah, you could afford one of these once a year,
Right. Right.
or two or three of these pieces and keep them for 10 years. Yeah. So it's again, better made, better product, better,
Yeah.
I think you could afford it if you're already spending money on clothes that adds up to a certain amount a year, buy two of these rather than, 30 of those. So,
Yeah. It's cool.
yeah.
Yeah. I hate buying things on the internet.
Me too. That's the other thing. You can't try it on.
I do
And I
trust
didn't,
that it would fit nicer and you can always get it tailored, but then
Yeah.
that's another expense.
yeah.
But it's like, I just hate it.
No, I agree.
Because then, you don't know what the return policy is how the returns are going to go.
And I didn't see much online about that either. It's like when she came out in 2019, there was a lot of buzz, and then I think COVID happened. I couldn't find a lot of information about but she does have a spring collection up, and it's really pretty.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and I also hate returning stuff because I'm like,
Yeah.
this is so wasteful. Yeah, it's just like, it's like a whole thing. So I usually
Yeah.
just avoid buying stuff online.
but again, if you're doing slow fashion and you're buying it online, buy the larger size, get it tailored.
yeah. Yeah, that's true, actually.
So
Yeah.
you can hear my
Yeah.
dogs barking in the background. Sorry. Ada opened the door and then, okay. So our next question is, does the earth-friendly message need to come back to Earth? Maybe. This is another one of those things. They haven't updated their sustainability page in a while, which we keep running into. The print on demand and local focus, I think, are really important. And while the print on demand sustainability was mostly explained, it's hard to tell how their out of the country textile factories like reduce water use, etc. And finally, again, we have to reiterate, no consumer brand can ever be truly sustainable or eco-friendly. It's just not possible. They're reducing your impact, but
It's not like going out and buying all their products makes you more sustainable.
right. It's not going to
the
save the
opposite.
earth. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wish there were more hard numbers about how they're reducing wastewater, reducing waste, water usage, electricity, etc.
Yeah.
And maybe some sustainability impact about those local community infrastructure. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, totally.
So-
Even just some pictures.
Yeah. But at the same time, I don't feel like they're saying earth friendly, they're not like, they're not saying we are the most earth friendly brand.
Yeah.
They're saying we're trying to empower women to wear pretty clothes and kind of embrace slow fashion while
Mm-hmm.
helping local community.
Yeah,
So,
there's definitely less hooey there than in a lot of
yeah,
brands.
it's
Like
not
Quince.
Quince or Pact. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not. Your buying organic cotton will save your life
Mm-hmm.
and the universe. It's like
Mm-hmm.
we're trying to make a sustainability impact, but our focus is on slow fashion and art,
Mm-hmm.
and her art. So I don't know. I didn't feel like it needed. There's Archie. Hi Archie.
Yeah, I
Thanks
hear
for
him.
barking.
Oh, Lord.
3-1 Archie, my barking dog. Okay, so our TLDR is the granola rating. This is every week we rank the product or service we're talking about on a scale of 1 to 5 granolas. The crunchier the granola, the better. So a 1 is soggy, a 2 is mushy, a 3 is chewy, a 4 is crunchy, and a 5 is break your tooth off. And that's the best you can get. So I'm inclined to give Hope for Flowers a 3.5 or a 4.
Yeah.
I really like the push to make Detroit a local nexus of fashion design and open up opportunities for a city that hasn't had a lot of good going on in it for a while. I also like the push to remove elitism from sustainability
Mm-hmm.
and to kind of broaden what sustainability means, that it's a community effort.
Yeah.
I like that. And the slow fashion movement is for sure a better alternative to fast fashion, as long as you truly buy less and, maintain it. So that was what I thought. I'm gonna say it's a 3.5 to a 4.
Okay.
I wouldn't
I like
feel
that.
bad buying from them.
Yeah, that's like way higher than anything else this season.
Yeah. Sometimes we're like 2.5. This,
Yeah.
and I think that she's not trying to pull the wool over your eyes by being like, I use 100% cotton. That's just so much better. She's like, I'm trying. Oh, the dog.
Yeah.
Hi, Archie. Oh, sorry. Dog visits tonight. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
it felt like a better brand than,
Yeah. Yeah. I like it. It did restore my hope in some ways.
yeah.
Yay. Hope for flowers.
Hope for flowers. Yeah. So
Cool.
next week I've got you talking about upcycled leather handbags.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty interesting.
I am kind of fascinated about this.
Yeah. Or my original title, which may still continue to be the one I use, is Animal Skin That's Been Around the Block.
Oh gosh, sorry vegans, haha. But okay, I can see. Yeah,
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes.
sounds good.
Should be good.
All right,
Cool. I feel like there was something I thought of a couple days ago that I was like, this is what we should tell or ask people to do, but now it's gone.
smash that like button.
There you go.
But only I've been listening to this AI thing that's like, go on and smash that like button and subscribe, but only if you're really interested in what we're talking about. And okay, do that. Write us a review if you think about it. We love it.
Yeah, 5 stars, please, for love of God.
Yeah, I know. 5 granolas. Break your teeth
5
off.
granolas, the crunchiest granola around.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah, cool.
Well, thanks for listening, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Bye.
Toodaloo.
Bye.